60 seconds, one story, and with the upcoming election looming, let's discuss the Greens. Okay, let's discuss what the Greens have just done. I just picked up this very short time ago, and I thought to make a video out there to everybody. Now it'll go a little longer than 60 seconds, but I'll make it succinct for the people before 60 seconds is up, so you know. The what's his name here? Nick McKim, the Australian Greens Senator for Tasmania, wrote a letter to the President of the Senate rejecting Trump, rejecting Trumpism, calling him out for corporate donors, of all people, and saying that we must never allow Trumpism here. Well, let's break that down, shall we? What is Trumpism? It is economic nationalism. It is your country first. It is putting your country above every other country and competing on the world stage and winning or losing. It's as simple as that. Now, the Greens want us to lose. They don't care. They only care about their political power, and they get it through the globalists and through this climate change fiasco that's been happening the last 20 years. Now, onwards to more. Now, if you're around my age, you've most likely parked your vote, if you're disaffected the way I've been, with the Greens. Why not? They're supposed to be the party of peace. But guess what? Who were the party of peace? Not the Democrats, were they? Their mates, not the Democrats at all. Who were the party of peace? Was it the EU and their climate change agenda to minimize the use of fossil fuels and reduce the power of BRICS, who have a lot of fossil fuel power? No, it wasn't them, was it? Who was it? Who was it? Was it the Labor Party of Australia? Was it the Labor Party? Was it the left? No, the left wanted blood, and the Greens pretended like they never heard of it. They pretended like they don't support the left. Here's the deal. The left does not stand for what the left used to stand for. What the left stands for today is neoliberalism. What happened was the Tories got done by the Whigs, right? This is in the 1850s, right? 1831, 1830s. The Whigs are what we would consider today the Labor Party, the Democrats, okay? If you can argue with me if you like in the comments, but that's my view. Now, the Whigs took on the role of taking over the role of the British East India Company and the imperialism. And from that perspective, we get liberalism and neoliberalism, which means I'm in charge, my values are the only ones that count, and you're a victim, you need my help? Oh, you're the enemy, you need to be killed. You're a victim, you need my help? You're an enemy, you need to be killed. I run this. Think of tentacles all over the world. We had seen the British do it. We watched the Americans attempt it. Now, Trump has come in, and if you've followed my content or if you've followed the news, you'll know that Marco Rubio very clearly stated that that's done with, and we're into a multipolar world. What is a multipolar world? What a multipolar world is every country for themselves. Every country's interest for themselves. Whatever's best for Australia, Australia needs to do. And that is a death knell for a party like the Greens, because the Greens don't care about Australia. They don't care about Australians. What they care about is power. So what they do is they've convinced people like me to give them a bit of money. This is how come I got the message. Give them a bit of money, give them a bit of support, because I wasn't happy with either party. And then what have they done with that support? They've radicalized our youth. There's a protest every week in the center of Melbourne where our youth stick up signs and go, "Free Palestine, yay for Hamas, yay for Hamas," right? And every other week, the Aboriginal people who want to fight as well, they go, "Burn the flag, burn the flag." And the two protests work together. And then there's queers for Gaza too. Don't forget them. They wouldn't last long in a Muslim society, but hey, details don't matter. And then you always see the Socialist Alliance and the Communist Party deep in there. The Greens are not a green party. We've known that for a while. They're green on the outside, but pure red in the middle. And they don't care about our country. They want to sell us out with carbon tax. They want to sell us out by not allowing us to produce the kind of economy that we could produce. In other words, they're quite happy for all of us to starve or to not succeed as long as they get to be in power. They're not here for success. They're here for keeping the country down. How do they do it? By stopping as much as they can any mining. By stopping as much as they can any clearing of land for new farming. By stopping as much as they can any changing of zones that might go from rural to semi-rural and towards housing to build bigger cities. They've had that 15-minute drive city. They're all up in Davos talking crap, and they don't care about this country. So here's what's going to happen. There's either going to be two things that will happen. Labor has no hope. They don't know about this stuff. They're still stuck in 2016, and they think it's Hillary Clinton. They think of like Hillary Clinton. When USA dropped, this is when Greens dropped it. Do you see? USAID was cut, which means the NGOs are cut, which means all the lying industry around climate change is cut. No more. Where's the money going to come from? It's not going to come from Europe. It comes from America. They got so much money. To them, 50 billion, whatever. It's nothing. They can print it. Easy. So that's all stopped, which means the other side isn't going to stop. And that's what's sort of happening. You're seeing a switch around where people are saying, okay, we've been watching this for 20 years. Where's the catastrophe? Where's the big climate change problems? We've got bigger problems now, much bigger problems. And I'll tell you how big a problem Australia has. We have been exporting jobs out of here since the 80s, and that was thanks to a Labor government. That was thanks to Bob Hawke. Cut the tariffs, everything went. Newcastle gone, 3,000 jobs overnight gone. People, why do you think we got that music out of there with the Silverchair? Because it wasn't a good place. It really hurt. You could play Cold Chisel from the 80s and hear Shipping Steel, right? What do you hear if you're playing now a Cold Chisel song? Catching an Uber. Might have to have a translation app. That's the music now, all right? So either we put this country first, or what's going to happen? Indonesia will gobble us, China will gobble us, America will gobble us, Japan will gobble us, France will gobble us. They'll all just gobble us up the way they've been doing as part of the neoliberal system. They'll continue to gorge. And what will happen? Our living standards will keep plummeting, plummeting, plummeting. What if I told you that what they should be doing was setting up a tariff system or an export license system where the miners pay triple the cost in taxes if they don't refine it in Australia? If you pass that law in Australia, you watch those jobs come back. You watch them. They'd have to. Go and find a politician that's going to do that, though. That's the problem. Why? Because they don't care about our country. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about our children. They're quite happy for them to eat less, just as long as they get invited to Washington, just as long as they get to go to Brussels and Davos and pretend like they're elites, when really they're just the guys, the also-rans, the hangouts. You know, collection of hangouts while we all sit here in this stagnation. And I know a lot about it. I'm in a business-to-business business. We provide services to business. And I non-stop hear what is happening out there is not good. There's not anybody that we deal with that's especially an older business. Yeah, younger guys that might be doing a bit better, but the older people, they're not doing well. There's no money flying. Why? They turned off the taps. They sold us out to the overseas, and they're going, oh shit, wait, things aren't going well. What do you mean? We're losing money? Oh. And then the whole system changed with Trump, and now what do we get from the Greens? No Trumpism. Fantastic.